Thanks, Ian. My name is Leanne, and since 2011, I have been having conversations with students around Is It Just Me in the context of mental wellness and reducing stigma. This is the first time I've done this type of conversation without there being 200 students sitting in front of me. This feels weird to have an Is It Just Me without the face to face conversation that it normally would bring. But then again, so much of the past 2.5 months has been a bit weird, wouldn't you say?
You're right, Leanne. It's been a challenging couple of months. For those of you who haven't been to an Is It Just Me presentation, I'm Casey. Typically, during an Is It Just Me presentation, we'd have you all with us for 3 hours to discuss mental wellness and factors that can influence your overall well-being. We also usually spend a good chunk of time focusing on different strategies to help you cope.
With COVID-19 and the host of changes and uncertainty that we've all experienced over the past 2.5 months, our focus is going to divert a bit to talk about our current reality. We're going to talk about how current circumstances are affecting mental wellness and cover some strategies to help you cope. First, let's unpack what this new reality looks like. Students have had to transition to schoolwork online and away from their friends and teachers. Students have also had to change their daily routines and grieve the loss of their extracurricular activities. I know in my world, this has been the biggest challenge. For some students, the transition was smooth. They no longer had to rush to catch the bus or have any sort of challenges in time management without conflicting schedules from other things. For others, the transition to online learning has been an exercise in extreme frustration. Poor internet connections, limited access to technology, or just finding a quiet space in a house full of people have all increased our stress in uber ways.
I can speak personally that some of my biggest stressors have been centered around trying to transition my work to telepractice. I really miss seeing the students that I work with in EIP in person, and as well as my colleagues. This hits another challenge with our current circumstances, the lack of connection with others. Along with the added stress that tends to coincide with the transition to online learning, we're all finding ourselves more isolated without extracurricular activities and sports. Not only that, but many of the celebrations tend to occur at the end of the school year, field trips, prom, transition ceremonies, and graduations. The prospect of many of these events not happening can leave us grieving for that connection that those events would bring. These are all things that we look forward to, and the absence of sports and celebrations can impact our mood and motivation. It can be really challenging to not have the things to look forward to.
In these unprecedented times, we've heard from students, parents, and our colleagues that overall we are struggling. In our next segment, we will cover some of those strategies that can help put into practice to help us manage in this new reality. For now, back to you, Ian.